right. It's the Joes back again, and we're cooking after Thanksgiving. Got some fantasy goodness for you here. I'm your host, Oli, along with my main man, Dave Allen. What's going on, Dave?
Hey, I got a whole plate of fantasy goodness.
Oh, man, we got some fantasy leftovers for you, but it's going to seem so new and fresh as we warm it up. It's going to be great. Going to be great. Well, hey, we want to thank you guys for coming back and visiting with us again tonight. We appreciate all the support. I say that every show, and I mean it every show. Again, thank you guys for coming back and visiting and checking out the podcast. We always want to thank those behind the scenes, getting the word out and doing some of the things. Again, we have some exciting things coming down the pipeline for you all, websites, things of that nature. But again, thank you guys for coming back and visiting with us. Do take just a moment here and like the video, subscribe if you haven't, and we are looking for everyone to be interactive with us. So you can chat with us here on YouTube. Leave your thoughts or questions or comments, or start six questions or whatever. We're on Instagram. We have a very dynamic Instagram page. We're growing there, so we'd love for you guys to visit us there. It's Average Joe's Fantasy Football _ between each word. And you can also visit us on Facebook at the Average Joe's Fantasy Football Podcast. So with that having been said, I did want to make mention of this. We missed this one last week, Dave. The Listener League. We are going to have a Listener League next year. We want to fill that out with 22 people. So Dave and I will be hosting that. We have a couple of slots filled already, and we want to get that filled up as quickly as possible. So if you are interested in being in a Listener League, please drop us a message on YouTube or Instagram or whatever. Just get a hold of us, and we'll make sure you get in. It will be first come, first serve. That's the way we're doing it, right, Dave?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. There's going to be some awesome prizes in there for that Listener League. The winners, I'm sure there'll be some Creamy Ranch habaneros going out to some people. I'm sure there may be some kind of a championship ring, maybe even a signed helmet or something. We'll have something great for you guys. It's ever developing, so definitely want you guys to look out for that and join in and have fun with us there. Speaking of, question of the week, we did not get anyone who gave us a direct correct answer. And what I mean by that is someone kind of touched on it but didn't quite give it as an answer. I'm going to let the guy know his name was actually the original Joe. We have an original Joe who came on our last podcast and somewhat answered the question, kind of, sort of. But anyhow, again, it was a top 5 defense from last year, is the only remaining top 5 defense from this year. So 4 different defenses have come up to the top 5 this year, and one holdover from last year. Who is the holdover, basically, is the question. That's a top 5 fantasy scoring defense, not, based on NFL regular, you can't score against us kind of a thing, but actually score fantasy points. So check that out, and the winner of that question will get to choose the intro music for our next show. I'm going to keep rolling that until we do it. The chips are not coming back, so I get a new song to play. So please, I want somebody to do that for us. Come back, answer that question, and of course we will play whatever song you would like to hear, as long as it doesn't have anything profane or offensive in it. So, Dave, man, how's your week been?
It's been good. I'm in this. I don't know if did I mention this last? I can't remember. The 120.
Yeah. You mentioned
I did mention that. I did mention that. Okay, well, I won't bring that up again. No, it's going good. We'll get into my difficulties for this fantasy week later in one of our newer segments. But other than that, as far as life's been going, it's been cool. Ready for tonight's game.
Absolutely. Yeah. I can't wait for the game this evening as well. I've been having an all right week. Huh?
I was going to say, we're finally back to football with no teams on bye. We finally get a full slate of football.
Yeah. Those weeks with 6 teams on bye and all the rest of that, those were some pretty tough weeks, but it's tougher, but that's part of the fun of fantasy football, having to figure these things out. And sometimes doesn't quite go the way you want, and I'm sure some people out there who don't have the record they quite want right now. But hey, it's part of the game. It's part of the fun, the difficulty, and the struggle of it all, figuring things out. So certainly, I've been having an okay week. A little tired today. I actually didn't get much sleep last night. I had a real bad pain in my neck, and I couldn't sleep. So I actually have a TENS machine. I'm not quite sure if you know what that is, but it's kind of like if you go to physical therapy, they put those pads on you and it kind of shock your muscles.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I was up last night twitching, but it helps. It definitely helps. I love those things. When you have like some little muscle pain, you put it on there, man, and it'll work that muscle out, get that blood flowing. And after about 3 o'clock in the morning, I finally got to bed after my neck stopped hurting. But yeah, but there's one more exciting thing that's going on for me this week. In the league that I'm in with you, I get to play. There's a guy that I'm playing this week. He's 6-6. So he's struggling to get in the playoffs, and I think if he beats me, he's in, because he's also the second highest scorer in the league behind me. So if he beats me, he's in. If I beat him, he's out. And this just so happened to be a guy I kind of had a little tiff with the beginning of the year, and it'll oh God, it'll just be so sweet to knock him out the playoffs. Now we're cool now, but I still want to knock him out, man. So we'll see how that goes. Anyway, we got a big show, folks. As always, we're going to do the Week 13 preview. This is the week for a lot of people. A lot of teams this is the last regular season game, and kind of like I was talking about here a minute ago, either you're in or you're out if you win this week. So hoping to give you guys some good information. We're also going to do our start sits of the week, and we're going to do a brand new segment called DeathMatch. I really want this one to develop into where we talk about some more difficult to call players, and then we'll kind of either or them or match them up against other players who are difficult to call, and the person that emerges from that particular little group will be the kind of the shining star. Hey, here's the kind of a flex player that you should be looking for in your league if you could possibly get them. So we'll kind of do that, kind of work our way through that, but hopefully we'll be able to develop that segment for you guys. So we've said a lot here at the beginning. Let's go ahead and jump into it because I don't want to take too much time. We got about an hour till the game starts. Start with the games here. Now, you were wanting to talk about, Dave, you want to talk about the Colts and the Jags. You were mentioning there's some really good things here to dive into. Now, to me, this feels like two teams just heading in completely opposite directions right now. Even though the Colts are only 6-5, Andrew Luck really has them clicking on all cylinders. What do you want to say about this game?
Yeah, I just wanted to mainly just address some of the injuries that are going on in this game. First, looking at the Jaguars side, and this isn't necessarily injury. We already talked about Fournette missing, and we touched on Carlos Hyde and the other. But on top of that, Jalen Ramsey is dealing with a hip injury, if I'm not mistaken, and he was out yesterday, didn't practice yesterday, also didn't practice today. So on that side of the ball, that's definitely something to look at, as well as Tayshaun Gibson for the Jaguars. Their safety did not practice. So the defense was already not as high-powered as last year, and they're now losing key pieces in the secondary, going against a high-powered Andrew Luck, who is going to be without Jack Doyle. We already talked about that, but then also Eric Ebron was limited yesterday.
Oh, he's playing. No. He's not missing a chance at beast mode. He's going to. I will bet dollars to donuts that your boy Ebron is going to be in the game.
Well, I would definitely hope so, because I'm looking to play him in a couple of leagues. But with Doyle being out, and even if Ebron does play, we have Eric Swope. He's coming back, and I was looking at his numbers because I was going through him and Mo Alley Cox, who had a few good games. But I was looking at Eric Swope's numbers, and they were saying, from what I was reading, let me get back to it. Yeah, Swope has hauled in 7 of his 8 targets for 83 yards, with 3 of those receptions going for touchdowns.
Yeah.
So he's looked for in the red zone, and so these are just a couple of people that I wanted to talk about and mention as this game is going on, especially with Ramsey being out. I think T.Y. Hilton goes up some charts that may have been a little bit lower off before.
Actually, I think T.Y. Hilton's going to be probably he and Ebron will be the main beneficiaries of Jack Doyle going down. I think we'll see a resurgence for T.Y. Hilton. And, yeah, definitely since we've getting this information with Ramsey possibly being out or being limited in the game, I like him even more. Just to highlight how far the mighty have fallen. At the beginning of the season, the Jaguars were the top-ranked defense fantasy-wise. Top-ranked defense fantasy-wise. As of this morning, they were dropped by 20,000 teams in the Yahoo Fantasy Leagues. 20,000 teams dropped them. Yeah. I'm still holding out for something because I picked them up in like the 10th round, so I'm still holding out that they can give me a game or two down the stretch. But, yeah, this defense has not lived up to the billing at all. Yeah, we already kind of spoke about both of these teams at length last couple of weeks, but yeah, I expect Ebron to get to Gronk level for the rest of I think he's going to be an elite tight end the rest of the way here. He has a chance to go Super Saiyan. I don't think he's going to miss it. But does Marlon Mack play? I've been, with the concussion, is he tracking to play this game?
Well, he returned to practice today on a limited basis. And, they want to roll him out. Now, as far as how much he'll play, I'm not sure, but I imagine they will play him in a key game, a division game, and they need this win. So I think he'll roll out there, but I do think we'll see a lot of Nyheim Hines as well, especially if he doesn't log at full practice.
Okay. Now, real quick, would you consider playing Hyde over Yeldon?
I think it's something that I would have to look at. I think I would go, when it came down to it, I would go with Yeldon just because of him, what we saw when he was there without Fournette before.
Yeah.
And just the usage he had and coming out of the backfield getting reception would be the reason I'd go with Yeldon. But it would be something I would think about.
Absolutely. All right, let's go ahead and talk about the next game here, Baltimore and Atlanta. And this just feels like it should be a good game. Baltimore has a tough defense, though. What do you see for Julio Jones out of this game? More the same,
I'm actually thinking Julio's going to be fine. I'm actually that's one of the few bright spots in this game for me. When I was looking into it, I'm pretty nervous about everybody that's not named Julio or Lamar Jackson.
Wow.
Okay. And the reason for that being is for the Falcons. The reason I'm not super excited, besides Gus Edwards being injured and all that situation, the Falcons are possibly getting Deion Jones back this Sunday, their middle linebacker, which is basically the quarterback of the defense. So that's going to be huge for them. He's a great player. So that's going to clog up a little bit as far as the run game going. And then on the other side is, it's still the Falcons. And I think Lamar Jackson's still going to be able to get loose and what have you.
I like this game a lot for Lamar Jackson, actually.
Right, absolutely. Yeah.
And kind of like you, though, like I said, it feels like it should be a good game. But when you think about Lamar Jackson, his passing ability, you still have to downgrade every single wide receiver for Baltimore.
Right.
Even though I did believe Crabtree caught a touchdown pass last week. I don't know. I still don't feel comfortable with them. How do you feel about Tevin Coleman here?
Oh, yeah. Both of them. Yeah, that's not how I feel. I feel like that I'm super full and I have to get up for whatever reason. That's how I feel. Yeah, they've just been underwhelming. The Falcons' run game has been super underwhelming, and luckily Matt Ryan's been able to make up a lot for that. But especially this game against this Ravens defense, who is not – it seems like they're never going to yield no matter what. And I don't think this is going to be the game for the Falcons running backs to get back on track, not against his defense.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, likely if you have Tevin Coleman, you may not have much of a better flex option. Hopefully he is a flex for you. So I'll still be willing to start him, but again, you have to temper your expectations. Man, Ito Smith has fallen off the face of the planet. At one point, he was
Yes.
one of the hot waiver wire ads, and just nothing as of recently. Um, I don't know. How do you feel about him? And I'm not talking about even from a point of starting right now, because we know he's not going to be starting right now. You would not have him in your lineup right now.
Right.
But just going forward, let's say in dynasty purposes, do you think he is the guy to fill that void for when Coleman leaves next year?
That's the hope. I mean, that was the hope coming in, so it's easy for me to say that's the hope. Yeah, he hasn't shown. I mean, he had a few flashes that got me personally excited. I think I expressed my excitement on the show a couple of times. And I thought this was it because Tevin wasn't playing very well, and I thought we were going to see maybe a switch possibly, or at least a huge split. And yeah, they've both been underwhelming. And maybe if Tevin does move on next year, like basically everybody's expecting, that Ito can come into the role of Devontae Freeman being that more powered back and Ito being the more speed scat back, and maybe that will be the help for Ito. So in saying that, with that being my mindset, I'm still holding on to Ito in Dynasty. And expecting him to be able to excel.
And I don't have his numbers in front of me. I thought Ito was kind of a bigger back than Freeman. Because I could see them possibly saying, "Hey, we want Freeman to go more than that Tevin Coleman role because he's been injured a lot, and maybe we want more pass catch." I don't know. We'll have to kind of see how that plays out. But yeah, I will say I like Lamar Jackson before we move on. Cam and Winston both had very good games against Atlanta, multiple passing touchdowns. Now they're more polished passers than Lamar Jackson at this point, but if there is a game that he can get the ball, get his passing down, this could be a game where he excels. So we'll see. All right, let's go ahead and move on for time's sake here and talk about Carolina and the Buccaneers. Now, this feels like a must-win game for Carolina.
Absolutely.
And it also feels like a start 'em if you got 'em game. Is there anyone you don't like in this matchup? Do not mention Devin Funlip, what we're calling him. We're not considering, and I understand why you call him Funless right now, because he's taking the fun out of my DJ Moore. I don't want him getting any of my targets.
Right? Yeah. No, I'm exactly. That's where I am with it. That's exactly why it's fun, and that's exactly what I was gonna mention. But since we're not going to, I will say this though. He was injured, and that was making a lot of people kind of excited. Things I was listening to and looking at, people were getting kind of excited for Curtis Samuel, who has been playing
playing good,
rather well the past couple of games. And Funches did return to practice today. So for anybody that was kind of thinking about Samuel, there you go with that. But other than that, if Deshaun Jackson doesn't play, obviously you don't want to go there. But Mike Evans, I like. Humphreys that you mentioned, I like. On the Panthers side, of course, I like DJ Moore, McCaffrey, those guys. I will say this for the first time. I think Chris Godwin, I'm not super excited. Whether Deshaun Jackson plays or not, not really excited about Chris Godwin this game.
Okay.
The Panthers
he's the odd man out for you as far as the pass catches for the Buccaneers.
Right, yeah, and it's been the other way around. Majority of the year, I've been like, no, I like Chris no matter what. But no, I don't think this is a great matchup for him. And they haven't been using him as much as I was hoping or would like them have been to be using him, especially in the red zone. So I think this is going to be like a touchdown or nothing game for him, and I don't see him getting in the end zone.
Okay. All right, good. Yeah, this is also a good game for the quarterbacks. I believe you can start both Jameis and Cam Newton. Now, who would you rather have right now in this particular game, though? Greg Olsen or Cameron Brate?
In this particular game, I want to go with Brate. Brate is one of the. I got him pretty high this week just because of the statistics I've been looking at. how the Buccaneers work. They use their tight ends. Jameis, like I said, I think he's going to get his best friend back. We're going to see that relationship come back to fruition. And, I was looking, and the Bucs' best passing games have come at home this year. They of their 5 home games, they had 402 yards, 411, 365, 406, and 312. Now, 2 of those, I believe, are Fitzpatrick. The other ones were, the first 2 were Fitz. I think the last.
Oh yeah, no, Jameis never has a problem putting up yards. It's the 4 interception game, bonehead plays he makes that makes it to send him on the bench. But he'll put up yards for you, absolutely.
Yeah, definitely, and just the yardage and how much they're going to be throwing it against the Panthers makes me like Brate over Olsen, particularly.
Good deal. Okay, let's go ahead and move on to the next game here, and we're moving quickly for time constraints because we had an extra couple games this evening. Let's talk about the Vikings and the Patriots, and this is a gut check time for the Vikings. I mean, are they among the elite? Are they upper echelon or not? Are they a contender? Do you think they prevail over the Pats in this game?
This game is so it was already juicy, and as I saw the injury report, it's getting juicier. Stephen Diggs didn't practice today again. He says he's going to play. Right. I think he said that a couple weeks ago and didn't, so that hurts feelings.
I think he'll play, and it does. Yeah, if he doesn't play, not only does it hurt him, but it hurts Thielen because, on the other sideline you got Bill Belichick, and as much as I don't like the Darth Lord, he is a mastermind of football. So if you only got one weapon he's scared of, he's going to shut that weapon down if he can. Don't get me wrong. I don't know if he's going to completely take Thielen out of the game, but we won't see one of those, 125 yards and a touchdown kind of a game, I don't think. So, okay, so we got some injuries happening here. So are you feeling the Vikings will come out on top?
Well, see, that's what if we get no Stephon Diggs, and we're not supposed to see what it's looking like Xavier Rhodes also won't be playing.
Yeah.
Andrew Sadejo, the safety that's back there with Harrison Smith, was placed on IR this week. So if we're getting a combination of that and no Stephon Diggs, I don't see the Vikings coming out on top in this game against hopefully Brady. He was on the injury report, but I'm sure we'll see Tom Brady out there. I don't think
he doesn't really need it. What was on the injury report for, like an ankle or something?
Yeah, I think it was.
Yeah, he doesn't need ankles. Okay, he doesn't move, so he can just kind of sit there in like a wheelchair or something, and he'll be just fine. Yeah, he doesn't need those things. I completely agree with you on this game. Feels like one of those games where the Vikings have a chance to make it a good one, but the Patriots, whether Tom Brady is having a all-star or all-pro year or not, they just kind of know how to win. They got Gronk back. He was limited today in practice, but I think he's going to play. He got a touchdown last week. Are you back to trusting Gronk after seeing his performance last week, or are you still a little leery of him?
I actually am. I'm lucky enough in one of my leagues to have Gronk and Brate on the same team, and I'm actually going to roll with Gronk over Brate for this week just because, it's the Patriots. And I just saw that they're undefeated at home. I did not know that. Okay. They're undefeated at home and playing at home. So, yeah, I'm going. I like Gronk. I think you can trust Gronk a lot rest of the season.
Excellent. And let me ask 2 more questions about this game real quick, and we'll move on. Cousins or Brady, who's going to have the better game?
If they've got Diggs, I say Cousins. If there's no Diggs, Brady.
All right. And how do you feel about your man Cook against the Pats?
Oh my goodness! See, I was going to ask you that.
I'm glad I sniped you first because I want to know what you think.
Yeah, that situation is it's so murky. And I was trying to come up with something that made me like Cook a little more, or one of the running backs, whichever. The Patriots are 14th against the run. They're giving up 4.4 yards a carry on average this season. It's not terrible. And looking at it from either way, it's not too bad. But
not bad for Cook. I mean, he could possibly just no matter the game script or the team, it seems like he just hasn't quite, be able to put that game
Right.
together yet. So, and
Yeah,
again,
it looks like
big pictures to the Patriots.
Right, yeah, and playing whether they have to play catch up or not. The fact that, like we talked about on Monday, the fact that this Latavius Murray usage is higher than what you would like to see, and he seems to be running super hard and playing really well, it just makes you very nervous about
He
Cook.
has that Frank Gore effect. He looks like he's running really hard, so I guess we'll keep giving him the ball. He's really putting effort out there, getting that 2.5 yards. Let's go. Anyhow, we're not gonna go back there tonight. I promise you. I'm not going into a little fella. What's the guy? What do we call him?
Little buddy.
Little buddy. We're not going back into a little buddy rant here. I'm gonna leave that alone. All right, let's go ahead and talk about the Chargers and Pittsburgh here. And this is the big game, one of the big games of the week, in my opinion. And this is typically where we see the Chargers start to fall apart. This is the time of the season where, okay, they're kind of that middling team. They got a shot at the playoffs, and it just does not come to pass for them. The centerpiece of their offense for this year is out. Melvin Gordon, that MCL, man, when he shouldn't even been in the game last week, hurting me, man, hurting me real bad. But anyhow,
did you see how upset Phillip Rivers was on the play he got hurt on?
I can only imagine. He had to be sick.
Oh yeah,
because he knows. This is probably his opportunity this year. You have the defense. You have AD. Your defense is okay. You have a defense that's okay, but your offense is clicking on all cylinders, probably for the first time in a while.
Yeah.
Even though he's not getting the passing yards, they have so much of a dual threat where no one can kind of match up with what they're going to do, and they have a real shot. This is probably their best record going into this time of the season in a long time. And they have a shot, and to lose the centerpiece of your offense right now in the stretch run, because they still need to win a couple more games, because they're in the AFC. In a stretch run has to be devastating. So hopefully Melvin will be back in a couple of weeks. But what do you see? This is going to be an uptick for the receivers for the Chargers, or Eckler can step in and handle it, or what do you think?
That's how I'm looking at it. I'm actually expecting a shootout kind of game, personally. I think that this is going to be, we like Eckler, we do, but we're going to be passing it. Like we're going to be doing our best to put up as many points as we are, and I think that's going to put the Steelers in a catch-up, keep-up type of position. And in saying that, I'm not super excited, and I'm not saying by any means you sit him, but I'm not super excited about James Conner in this game because of the way it is. I was going back and looking in the games that the Steelers have had to play this sort of catch-up, keep-up game against the Jaguars. James Conner had 9 rushes for 25 yards, 6 catches for 24 yards on 9 targets. Not really what you're looking for, but they ended up getting phased out. Against the Broncos, 13 for 53, 13 for 53 yards on rushing, 4 catches for 42 yards. Once again. Then in week 2 against the Chiefs, he had 8 rushes for 17 yards, 5 catches for 48 yards on 5 targets. He was able to get a touchdown. But in all that, I'm saying, in these catch-up, keep-up games, you do see the phasing out of James Conner, which has got to make you nervous in a game like this.
Yeah. I see it as an uptick for the receivers as well. And like you, Ashley, we're going to talk about James Conner a little bit later on. But, I think that you'll see Phillip Rivers kind of start to take over. Don't get me wrong, Austin Eckler is a good little running back, but he is not. And this is one of the reasons we may see some of Justin Jackson. We'll see how that goes. But he knows it's back on his shoulders. I hand it off to Melvin and have him score 3 touchdowns a game. It's back on me. Right. So we're going to see a little bit more Allen. We're going to see some more touchdowns thrown last week. Allen got a touchdown, 2 touchdowns for Williams. And now, don't get me wrong, they played the Cardinals, so you got to kind of take that for what it's worth. I mean, for God's sakes, Geno Smith got in the game, so you know what, who you're playing. But with that having been said, I think they're going to start putting the ball back in the air just a little bit more. And great thing is Austin Eckler is a good pass catching running back, so
absolutely
they can play that game with him. As far as Pittsburgh is concerned, the usual suspects. I think the only person you have to be a little worried about here who has kind of had an up and down season. You're not quite sure what to do with is Vance McDonald. I'm not sure if he's even a startable asset anymore.
Yeah, Vance McDonald is actually on. I don't think I'm trying to find it right now. I don't think he's a go Sunday night. Let me make sure before I just put that out there. Yeah. Okay. Well, he didn't practice. He didn't practice yesterday, and I haven't heard anything about it today. He got a hip injury, so you can. Yeah, that's gonna hurt. Yeah. Obviously, if he doesn't go, so that's just something to monitor.
Okay, and maybe Jesse James will be a stream. He played okay when he gets in the game. Yeah. I suppose we'll see. All right, let's go ahead and talk about Washington and Philly. And we'll glance over this game. Won't spend too much time on it, but I seen here that Adrian Peterson showed up on the injury report today. He did not practice. Do you think he's going to miss this game, or is he going to go, or?
I think they're going to do everything they can to get him in this game. If it's not a serious injury, I think because this is a huge game for them, especially being without Alex Smith. It's a division game. They're right there for second place. Yeah, I think this is something they need. They've got to have. Even with Chris Thompson supposedly coming back, right. I think having this power back, this guy who has also kind of like Frank Gore fought against Father Time and giving you some very solid games. I think he's a guy that you can expect to be out
he's
there.
Better than Frank Gore. I wouldn't feel that bad if it was Adrian Peterson taking the ball away from Kenyon Drake a little bit. Don't get me wrong, I like Gore. I mean, look, he's the old San Francisco guy. Trust me, I respect the game. I watched him play many a Sunday afternoon. But he's 72. Don't forget the Oldsmobile Cutlass out front and the senior sunrise breakfast from Shoney's. He shouldn't be getting the ball 20 times a game. Never mind. You drug me back in. You drug me back in. What? You did it.
You almost got me started.
Every time I try to get out, they pull me back in. Okay, little buddy. Stop giving Frank Gore the ball. Jesus.
Yeah, for the record, nobody on this show is upset at Frank Gore.
No,
We're not mad at Frank. We're mad at little buddy. It's his fault.
Little buddy. Man, yeah. So speaking of though, real quickly, we're talking about Adrian Peterson possibly being out. They got Capri Bibbs there, and Thompson's supposed to be back. Yeah. Have you heard anything though about this guy Byron Marshall?
I have not, other than seeing him picked up by a couple of other people in my league. I haven't seen anything about him, heard anything about him, researched him, or anything like that. I mean,
does Chris Thompson get the bulk of the carries? Does Bibbs get the carries? I mean, both of these guys do not seem like between the tackles kind of runners.
Yeah, I think if we don't see an Adrian Peterson, Capri Bibbs will be the guy that gets the between the tackle runs more so than Chris. But I do think you will see Chris in the game more. Yeah. And I think that this is a perfect game for Chris Thompson to come back, not only because of all the defensive pieces that the Eagles are missing that we've already known, but we are now unfortunately missing one of probably our fastest linebacker in Jordan Hicks, who will be missing not just this game but a couple of weeks. So this is a superb opportunity for those short, intermediate routes.
I'm so glad you mentioned my boy Jordan Reed. My start of the week last week, he was tied with Washington for receptions with 6 or 75 yards, and he could have had more, but he went out on a very nasty headshot. I'm not saying he's back. He hasn't had a monster game, but I kind of mentioned that he could benefit from a quarterback change, and don't get me wrong, he didn't give you 30 points, but he also didn't disappoint you. So, if they're going to be soft in the middle of the field, I see Jordan Reed having possibly another game. Now, who's going to step up for the Eagles as far as the pass catchers are concerned outside of Ertz? Ertz is locked in, solid. You don't even think about him. Who else is going in the game? Is it Tate, or are you going to start Alshon? Who do you want?
I actually surprised myself when I was going through this. I like Tate. I like Golden Tate, and I like Zach Ertz this game. I think that the Redskins defense is a very aggressive defense. Okay. And by that I mean their secondary and their safeties. DJ Swearinger is one of the more aggressive safeties in the league. So I think he's going to be eyes in the backfield a lot. And I think that's going to open it up a lot for Ertz over the middle, a lot for short routes for Golden Tate. And I'm very happy if I were a Tate owner, and I was thinking about who I need to play or give a chance to. This is probably one of the better chances for Tate, in my opinion.
Absolutely. All right. Do you have anything else about this game?
No, sir.
All right. Well, let's go.
Let's go Eagles. Fly, Eagles, fly.
Oh, yeah. I think they'll have a good game. I think they'll. I mean, this is a division game. This, again, keeps them in the hunt for the playoffs. They have to beat Washington. Washington doesn't have a starting quarterback. AP may be out. Yeah. They just picked up a assault and battery case with, gosh, I forgot.
Oh, yeah.
Ruben Foster. That's awesome. For the team, but no, that's one thing the league did do right. They put him on that exempt list, so he's not going to be able to play yet until I think some more things shake out. And unfortunately, he's putting himself in the situation where it's not innocent until proven guilty. It's okay. We have to be leery of you until you're proven innocent. And you hate to put yourself, and you hate for that to be the case. Maybe he is innocent. We don't know the whole situation. Maybe it was something very small, but you continue to put yourself in the position, possibly reports saying with the same person that you've had issues with before. Look, if she takes you there all the time, get away from her. She's about to ruin your career. And don't get me wrong, it's not solely her fault. Both of them have, some kind of say or whatever in it. Or maybe not. Maybe it's all Ruben Foster. I mean, you just don't know the situation. But if it's just something where you guys don't get along, why not move on? I mean, for both of your sakes. I don't quite get it, especially when you have so much to lose. And it's only his second year in the league. You got so many years ahead of you. What are you doing? What are you thinking about? Anyhow, I kind of feel this because he just got ripped off the San Francisco 49ers. We had to let him go. We could not keep him on the team after all of this, and he was a promising young running linebacker for us. And anyway, moving on. We got our next segment here, starts and sits of the week, and we're actually making pretty good time tonight, which is awesome. Let's go ahead and do this. I'm going to let you start off the starts and sits. Let you snipe me first.
Yeah. So my start of the week quarterback this week is Big Ben. I like Roethlisberger this week. Like I said earlier, I think they'll be playing catch up, keep up.
Right.
He's at home. It's a key game for the Steelers as far as seeding goes, and I think that the stars are aligning for Big Ben to go crazy and have great stats.
Absolutely, I like Ben as well. He's really changed my perception of him this year. He's one of those guys I typically wouldn't draft, but going forward, he'll certainly be on my radar. My start of the week, and it's a shame that you even have to say this guy as a start of the week, but he's now streamable as far as this season is concerned. It's Aaron Rodgers. He's going up against the Cardinals, and again, you think, start Aaron Rodgers, but he has not been an automatic start this year. He just hasn't.
Right.
He hasn't at least played up to an automatic start kind of a level, but he should have a game against the Cardinals. Don't forget, they just played the Chargers, and the Chargers had 3 passing touchdowns against them and a few rushing touchdowns. This should be a good game for everybody on the Packers side of the ball. And don't forget, Aaron Rodgers did map out their wins to the playoffs. So he's on a mission now. Maybe we see some things come around. I do want to give an honorable mention. I just have to shoot this out there because I mentioned it before. This may be one of the games where you can stream Case Keenum. If you're in a two-quarterback league, or if you are in dire straits or whatever, maybe I don't know. Maybe Flacco was your guy. I can't see that being it. But let's say Flacco is your starting quarterback. If Case Keenum is out there, you may be able to stream him this week against the Bengals. All right, I'll go with my running backs, and I'm staying with the Broncos here. Philip Lindsay. I like him. Yeah, against the Bengals. He's just a little beast. Oh, I got you. Man, I was trying to dodge you this time around, man. I'm sorry. You got to begin. Dang. Okay, well, Philip Lindsay, apparently my man Dave likes him as well, but he is the centerpiece of that offense. He can catch. He can run. He's great.
Absolutely. Yeah, I don't have much to add to that. Cincinnati's 31st against the run.
Yeah.
And Phil Lindsay's just been doing it all year, so I am right there with you on Lindsay. My receiver, and this was actually before I found out he was on the injury report, but if he's good to go, I like him, and I'm sticking with the Broncos. Okay. Emmanuel Sanders, I think is going to have a great game once again. Cincinnati giving up the 30th against receivers this year, giving up those that many yards. They're giving up about 12 yards per catch this year on average, and they've given up 25 touchdowns to receivers this year. So I like me some Emmanuel.
Yeah, let's get some Sanders in there. Absolutely. My wide receiver is Corey Davis. All year long, he has been the top target. Yeah, and it's kind of hard for me to say that, but I have to. He's been a top target for Mariota in that offense. They are playing against the porous Jets, and I think that with them fighting for their playoff lives, you're going to see the best game out of the Titans you've seen. Maybe not all season. They beat the Patriots down, so that may have been their best game. But you'll see the second best game of their season coming up here, trying to continue to stretch for the playoffs. So I like Corey Davis. Now, typically, it will be my turn again to go, but since I sniped you and you didn't have a running back this time, because I hit you, I got you right between the eyes, I'll let you go with your tight end.
Thank you. I appreciate that. My tight end is David Njoku.
Okay.
I like him.
I think he's been your favorite tight end all year long.
It has been close, hasn't it? It has been close. Texans are giving up an average of 113 yards to tight ends in their last 3 games, and also they've given up a touchdown in each of the last 3 games. If you watched Monday, you got to see Jonas Smith break off a large one.
He can move now. That boy can fly. He is not slow at all. I mean, I don't know why they haven't incorporated him into the offense a little more, but a couple of weeks ago, someone was actually asking about tight ends, and I mentioned John Smith. Said, hey, listen, if you got to take a flyer on someone, he may be someone to look at. He's been coming on as of late, and he reminds me with that kind of speed, and there's not a whole lot of tight ends with that kind of speed, but of a young Vernon Davis. Vernon Davis could run a 4 or 5 when he came out of college. He was pretty doggone fast. So he's big, man. That's true. Yeah, get him the ball. I like that. I like that option. I like him. Absolutely. My turn? Or are you done with that?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, yeah, go ahead.
Good. I'm going to go back-to-back, man. We're going for back-to-back titles here. I'm going with Jordan Reed again. 2 weeks in a row. I think the train is going to continue to go. I think he's the favorite target of Colt McCoy there. They're going to be up against the Eagles, and you already mentioned it for me earlier in the earlier segment that the Eagles are going to be back without one of their best pass defending linebackers. So the middle of the field should be open for Jordan Reed. Colt McCoy likes to dump it off to him. He was tied for tops in receptions last game and probably would have had more if he didn't go out mid-fourth quarter. So I like Jordan Reed this game. My defense kind of
I'm poking out.
Yeah, kind of an oxymoron here. But what was the Eagles? What was the Eagles against the Redskins? I still think Jordan Reed have a good game, but no one else. I don't expect the running game to do much. The Eagles, again, this is a division game. They're fighting for their playoff lives. You may see the best defensive effort you've seen this year. I don't know if there's, a whole lot of people in the defensive backfield out. I know they had some injuries, but I think they're getting back to being healthy. I think they've always had a pretty decent run defense, so I'm not scared of any of the running backs. You're not scared of any other wide receivers. You're not scared of Colt McCoy. But I do think Jordan Reed has a good game, but the Eagles should be a start.
Yeah, I'm kind of on board with you there. I think as a fan, when I look at my team, I'm just like, yes. But no, I'm with you there. After you kind of laid that out for me, I'm feeling a little better about us.
You guys might get a W.
Yeah, I kind of thought you were going to snipe me. I was poking my head out, trying to look into the building, see if there's a sniper out there. My defensive start of the week are the Broncos. I know we talked about the Broncos a lot, but going against Jeff Driscoll back there, you know, and possibly no AJ Green as well.
Dang, I should have had. Yeah, the Broncos is a good choice. I should have got you on that.
I think you should definitely you can roll out these Broncos against this Cincinnati offense.
Well, I'm still hoping that AJ Green has a game. He's coming back off an injury, but I think he's trying to take it upon his shoulders. He said today, listen, just throw the ball in my area, and I'm going to go get it. So I think he's going to try to cut it back out. We'll see how that goes.
I wasn't sure if he was playing or if he was just hearsay or what, but he is coming back Sunday.
I think he will be back off of that toe injury, and we'll see how Driscoll, how they can get that going.
Gotcha.
Did you see the report? Let's go back real quick and talk about Pittsburgh this week, where Ben Roethlisberger called out AB.
No, what was that about?
On like a game-ending interception kind of a thing, like right at the end of the game, they had an interception, and he called out Antonio, and it just made me think of the Madden Curse. Now, don't get me wrong, this is a very, very mild Madden Curse. But when my guy called it here, and in the same interview, he said he was critical of the coaching staff for not calling Juju's plays more at the end of the game. He gave him like 16 targets. How could you possibly have more plays called for him? That was crazy. Madden Curse, man. I mean, it's not your typical one, but this is not the year of this is the year of Juju.
Yeah, give me more Juju.
Yeah, man. So I wanted to point that out, let you know that was one. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I still love to have AB on my team, still having an awesome season, but yeah, this is kind of strange to see. I don't know if you want to call it the changing of the guard there, but Juju's he might be the number one, man. I mean, if I had to trust between the two, I'm still rolling out AB. Don't get me wrong. But Juju's been the man.
Juju's core. This is Juju's team.
Yeah, don't let AB here say that, man. He might turn into doggone Odell on the sideline and start hitting fans and stuff. I don't know. He's right there below him.
And if you want to go do that and start hitting,
that'll cement the Madden Curse. That's it.
Yeah.
Absolutely. All right, man. Let's go ahead and try this death match.
Sit of the week.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. You're right. I'm sorry. I skipped past the sit of the week. Go ahead with your sit of the week, man.
Yeah, I'm actually going to. I think I have a very unpopular
mine too.
look on this guy. Yeah. Okay. My guy is Kenny Galladay.
Okay. All right.
And I know that he's the only option with Marvin Jones going on IR. I get that. But with the possible Aqib Talib coming back this week, and, of course, Marcus Peters is there, I'm just not a fan of any Lions in this game. I would actually possibly maybe be more excited about Bruce Ellington than Galladay, and I might just be really low on Galladay.
Yeah, that's a huge
jump. Yeah. I might just be super low on Galladay, but, yeah, I'm just not really excited about him.
I still like Galladay. I mean, I think they're going to have to keep up in this game with the Rams. Rams are probably going to roll right over them, so there'll be a lot of passing. I don't know what kind of game he will have, but I'm sure I think he'll be a startable. I mean, are you literally like thinking of sitting him, or just have to roll him out there because he's probably the best option you have?
I mean, if there's a lot of guys, like I'm starting, DJ Moore over him. I'm starting Traquan Smith tonight. Kenny Galladay is not a guy I'm super, super interested in this week.
Okay. We'll talk about that in a second. My sit of the week, again, probably is not all that popular, but listen, right now I'm 1 for 1 on challenges. These are not, we're not going up against the scrubs, folks. We're going up against the people you want to play. We're saying not this week, okay?
Right.
Nick Chubb, sit him.
Oh.
Against the Texans, that front line is serious. And they're coming, the offense is scoring. I know the coaching staff said they came out this week said, hey, they want to get Nick Chubb involved, blah blah blah, want to pass game, blah blah blah. Look, DJ Johnson, I cannot get his name for the life of me. Duke Johnson is the pass catching back there. Okay, they're gonna be trying to keep up with the Texans. They got a great defense. Sit Nick Chubb if you have a better option or an equal option. This is now, don't get me wrong, he's a starting running back. He's going to get his touches. He may be in the end zone, but this is not going to be one of those great games for him, okay? This is going to be a mediocre game for him. Put someone else in if you got a better option. Good deal. All right, man.
Yeah. Good deal?
Yeah, great deal.
Good deal. Oh, my God.
I must have busted one of your teams up or something. I must have hurt you.
Yeah, and now I'm gonna add this to my death match because it wasn't on there and it is now. This is I can't. We'll get there. It's gonna be my first one. I can't wait.
Okay, all right. Well, let's go with my first death match. And again, folks, this is our first time with this segment. We're gonna kind of tweak it and develop it. But I want to see about players who were thinking about starting and put them up against other players who are of the same caliber you're thinking about flexing or starting, and see how they make it down the line. And of that group of players, which is the one that you want to start. So I'm going to start off with Gus Edwards versus Josh Adams. I'm seeing this a whole lot here. People are wanting to know what to do with Josh Adams. Is he the guy? Is he not the guy? And the first level here is Gus Edwards. Who would you start, Josh or Gus?
Oh, this game, Josh or Gus? I would have to go. I think I'm going with Gus. As long as Lamar Jackson's out there, I think they use Gus a lot and they run the ball so much, especially against this Atlanta defense. I think this is the perfect defense for Gus to explode, even with Deion Jones coming back.
Absolutely. Okay. All right. So we'll move Gus on down the line here. So Gus Edwards or LaShawn McCoy?
And the Bills have – who did the Bills have this week? The Dolphins. Give me Josh Allen back there. I think I might go with – my gut says go with Gus. The gut says Gus, so I got to go with Gus.
All right. We're still tracking so far. Okay. Gus Edwards or – it's getting harder now. It's supposed to get easier. It's not getting easier. It's getting harder now. Connor. You just mentioned
that's our James.
Yeah, James Conner, right?
Yeah. For me, now this is for me, and it's solely based off of what I said earlier about it being a shootout and things like that. I would roll with Gus, although I definitely see why everything that James Conner has done throughout the season, why James Conner would seem like the obvious choice.
But he's been lagging in the last couple of weeks, and you mentioned those games where it has been them trying to keep up or is very close or whatever. He hasn't had the greatest games. And, again, I mentioned this last week, ever since Bill said, you know what, I'm passing you the sticks. I ain't going to be back this year. He's may have taken the foot off the gas a little bit here. We haven't seen Connor play like he did before. Now, I'm sure he's still a great running back. I would still love to have him on my team, but you got to take those kinds of things into consideration. Maybe he's a little lackadaisical. We'll see. All right, this is the last one for Gus. Gus has made it through. Gus is doing good.
Yeah.
All right, Gus Edwards or Mark Ingram? Going against the Cowboys.
And the Cowboys' run defense is pretty good, but I got to go with Mark Ingram.
And he's sharing the field with Kamara.
Yeah, and he's sharing the field, but Mark Ingram is the type to be, he can give you a lot, he can give you almost nothing, but in this situation, I'm going to take the guy in the higher-powered offense. I think I would go with Mark over Gus. It's close.
All right.
I'm going Mark.
All right, so Gus is a pretty good start, pretty close to Ingram. I like it. I actually think I would have went the other direction. I think Gus would have made it all the way through that for me.
And I understand that, definitely.
Yeah.
Absolutely, I do get
It's actually a little more close for me for Connor, though. I still think he's the main running back there. I don't know. I think I probably would have put Gus in over Connor, but that was the closer one between those two for me. But good deal. So Gus Edwards, a great start. All right, man, who do you got? Let's try yours.
Yeah, okay. So I'm actually getting it now because when we first did this, I think I went about it a different way.
That's fine.
I got it now, though. I'm going to start off with Traquan Smith. who's playing tonight.
Dang.
Against
Okay.
the Cowboys.
Okay. We might have to bounce back and forth because he's the guy that I have listed down. I want to go through deathmatch with. So go ahead. You start off, man.
Okay. Yeah. Sure. So Traquan Smith or Josh Reynolds.
Yeah, he was on my list. Well, that's kind of crazy we got this. All right. Reynolds for me. I wanted to see your thoughts on this one because I know you really like Traquan. He did have one breakout game before he got injured. But I'm a little more comfortable with Josh Reynolds because I've seen him do it in multiple games. Again, they're probably playing against a team they're going to beat up pretty badly. And I think Reynolds will be just fine. And can Traquan have – I think Traquan has the higher ceiling. So that 10 catch kind of a game, blah, 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 sure. But if I need a sure 12 points, I think I like Reynolds better.
Yeah, that was kind of my difficulty on this one, too, because I looked at it. Traquan's the number 2 there. Reynolds is the number 3. But
Right.
Reynolds has been targeted in the red zone. That's who Jared Goff looks at. So his likelihood of getting a touchdown in that regard is a little higher. So, yeah, it's close for me.
Okay.
Yeah. So Reynolds for you, Traquan for me in that situation, just really close though. Next, Traquan or Chris Conley against the Raiders possibly without a Sammy Watkins.
No, I did this one time already. I did this one time already with Conley. No, me and him, no, I'm not seeing, no. It doesn't matter if it's Traquan or whoever. I picked him up, and he gave me like 3 points because Sammy Watkins wasn't playing. I'm like, Chris Conley's going to be the guy. No, Traquan all the way, 100%, not even a question. Yeah, I'm going with a hurt foot, whatever. I'm good. I'm good on Conley. I'm not on that bus anymore. Now, don't get me wrong. Okay, so Conley had, if I'm not mistaken, when they played, was it against the Rams? He had an okay game. Was that the game?
Yeah. 7 catches, 74 yards,
okay.
and 2 touchdowns.
Okay. All right. I'm going Traquan. I think I'm going Traquan. I'm going Traquan with that one. Yeah. Let me shoot one back to you. That's going to be tough. Tyler Boyd or Traquan.
That's a tough one because I think whether AJ Green plays or not, I think Driscoll's going to be looking at Boyd either way.
Really?
So yeah,
I think he has a chemistry with Driscoll or.
No, I don't think he'll look toward Boyd over AJ. I just don't think Driscoll will be stuck on AJ as much as Andy Dalton usually is. Obviously, this year he wasn't. He got Boyd some touches. But, see, this just goes back to if it's close like this, I want to take the guy on the higher-powered offense, so I would go with Traquan. But it's a difficult one.
Excellent. You got any more?
Yeah, my last one that has been the hardest for me, Traquan or Julian Edelman.
Edelman for me. I'm an Edelman guy. I like Edelman. I like his targets. I think he's the number 1 receiver, even though you'll see Josh Gordon get bigger plays because he's more of a downfield threat. But when Tom Brady needs his first down, it's Gronk or it's Edelman. And
right.
And also you got the run. So you got a lot of dynamics there in New England now with the running game kind of coming back. Sony had a great game last game. You got Burkhead coming back. It's probably somebody I probably should have done a death match on because I'm really stuck on Edelman. What to do with him? Not Edelman. Burkhead. I'm sorry. Yeah, what to do with Burkhead? Yeah, I'm still going until we see a little bit more of Traquan on a consistency level. I'm still going with Julian Edelman. He's been super consistent this year. If he doesn't get a bunch of receptions, he gets a touchdown. If he doesn't get a touchdown, he gets a bunch of receptions, and he keeps you in that 13 to 16 point range, right kind of where that wide receiver 2-ish numbers where I expected him to be. So yeah, I'm rolling with Edelman.
Absolutely. Yeah, that actually really just helped me out. So
yeah,
needed that before this game started.
I definitely go Edelman. I would check Edelman's status. I I'm not mistaken, no. He came back off of that game where he had that injury off the bye week, so he should be fine. I think he's all right.
Yeah.
All right, man. I don't have any more, but I do want to ask one more question here, and it probably I can't stop. But this is serious, though. This is serious. Do you roll with Gore's 100% short 8 points? I have to ask this question because we're in the league with a very deep starting lineup, and I gotta. Do I start Gore and get his sure thing 8 points, or do I go with Drake? Drake is like the proverbial box of chocolates that Forrest Gump's talking about. You never know what you're going to get. I mean, you can open the box of chocolates and get your cherry covered, whatever, you love it. He gives you 20 points. Or you can open the box of chocolates and instead of chocolates, it's cow poop. And you get 2 points. I mean, you just don't know. And I've been hearing people say, listen, if you want to play Gore, you're going to have to ride the roller coaster. But I don't really have time to ride the roller coaster.
Yeah.
Who are you starting?
Oh my gosh. It should be. You're right. It's just serious, and it should be. I can't stop laughing though. Against the Bills, I say Drake. I really do. I think I can't really back it up because a little buddy doesn't give me much stats to back it up with. But I just look at this. The brightest part for the Bills this year has been their defense, has been their secondary, and I think it's going to end up being the better pass-catching back is going to end up benefiting the most out of this game, you would think. So with that, I would go with Kenyon Drake.
All right. You're going to roll him out there. Hopefully this injury doesn't hurt him too bad. He has a shoulder. And we've talked a lot about Drake and this core situation. We make fun and light of it, and it should be spoken about. It's mind-blowing to probably just about anybody in the industry. I mean, I don't know what's going on there. Anytime they give him the opportunity, Drake goes off. I don't know. All right, man. Do you have anything else?
No, sir.
Oh, man, we made good time tonight. Well, folks, that is the end of the show. We got you out of here before 1 hour and 15 minutes, which is pretty rare. But we do want to remind you to come and visit with us here on YouTube. Also visit us on Instagram, the Average Joe's Fantasy Football Podcast, _ between each word, and also on Facebook. Don't forget to answer the question of the week and hit that like button and subscribe. And as always, as we Average Joe always says, if you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball. Dave, do you have anything else for the people tonight?
Enjoy your rest of your week and your weekend, and enjoy your football. Thanks for listening.
Absolutely. We're signing off. Have a good night.